guys, I'm going to be showing you a high protein tofu scramble, and this should give you about 29 grams of protein per serving. This is a recipe I've tried from Pinterest, so I will link it down below. I just tweaked some things like adding in edamame and using high protein tofu. So I'll show you what we need for this recipe. You will need a block of high protein tofu, which is all crumbled up, and then about half a cup of cilantro chopped up, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 small onion chopped up. I did a cup of edamame, and then 2 Roma tomatoes chopped up. And in here I have a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and then this is a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. This is a 15-ounce can of black beans drained. That should be it. So this is super simple recipe, and it'll have a lot of protein. Okay, so I have my pan set on medium heat, and the first thing you want to do is just saute your onions. So this will saute for about 7 minutes. And I'm also going to be adding about half a teaspoon of salt with the onion. Okay, so the onion is done sauteing. So I'm gonna add 3 cloves of garlic. You can use fresh, or I'm just gonna do it the lazy way and add the pre-minced garlic. And then you'll cook it for about 30 seconds. And then now you want to put in the tofu crumbles. As well as the diced tomatoes. And then you'll just cook this for about 10 minutes and just stir occasionally. The tofu and the tomatoes have been cooking for 10 minutes. And so now we're gonna put in the seasoning, and I did put 2 tablespoons of water in here and mixed everything up. So now we're gonna just put the seasoning in. And then we're just gonna mix it up real good. Okay, so once you put the spices in, you can put the beans in. So I'm gonna go in with my black beans, and then my edamame. And we're just gonna cook this for about another 3 minutes just to warm it up. And I'm actually just gonna put in my cilantro as well. And that should be it. So I'm gonna plate this up and do a taste test. Okay guys, so here it is. I did end up putting in another 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but now it's perfect. Very good colors in there. So this is really good and super simple to make, so you should definitely give it a try and let me know what you think. Today I'll be sharing with you a very simple and easy high protein, low carb, vegan recipe. And this is an easy spaghetti recipe that has edamame and some meatballs. Also, we're gonna be using the zoodles. The first thing you want to do is put your sauce in. And now you want to put your meatballs in, as well as your edamame beans. And you want to bring this back up to a simmer. So just keep that on medium heat, and I'll just watch it as it starts cooking, and I'll start breaking down some of the meatballs as it thaws out, because I don't like a big chunk of meatballs, so that's what I prefer to do. So I'm gonna set the timer for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna let it just kind of simmer. Okay, so I ended up microwaving the zucchini noodles for 4 minutes. If there's extra water in there, like there is for mine, you're gonna want to drain that out. So now that my zoodles are mostly thawed and drained out, I can add it into my sauce. And then you can just cook that for a couple more minutes until the zoodles get incorporated into the sauce. And while that's going, I like to add a little bit of water into my marinara sauce jar, and then I like to just swirl it and put some extra water in there. Not too much, because you're gonna have a lot of water from the zucchini as well. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back to a medium heat and let it cook. Meanwhile, I'll be putting in some parsley flakes, and you can put these herbs to your liking. You could do maybe a teaspoon of each. I'm just gonna lightly season it. Some oregano leaf, some crushed pepper, and some thyme. Alright guys, so here is my taste test. It's really good. Very fresh and healthy and clean and easy. Packed with protein, and the meatball is just perfect. So I hope you guys give this a try. So I'm going to be showing you a high protein tofu stir fry, and it's a really simple recipe and should give you about 30 grams of protein per serving. Okay, so what you'll need is a whole block of high protein tofu. I have a whole, about small to medium onion chopped up, yellow onion, and then I have a bunch of cilantro chopped up, and then one little Thai chili pepper, and this is optional. Also tweak the cilantro to your liking, but I like a whole bunch. And then in here I've got the edamame. I put a whole bag, so that's about 12 ounces of edamame. And then I have a whole bag of frozen stir fry style frozen veggies. And then I also have black pepper, some soy sauce, hoisin sauce, and then I have some vegetarian oyster sauce, and you can find these in your local Asian stores. Okay, so I am also going to be cooking up 1 cup of quinoa, and my water is boiling, so I'm going to add this to 2 cups of water. With about almost a cup of quinoa, you'll be getting an extra about maybe 7 to 8 grams of protein. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down to a simmer, and I'm going to cook that about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer to 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes, and that's starting now.
To start the stir fry, I have my pan on medium heat, and I'm going to add in my onion, and I'll saute this for a couple of minutes. Actually, I'm just going to turn this to medium high while I saute. Okay, so now my onion is starting to brown and become translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tofu in. And I just chop these up into about 1/2-inch blocks. Cook the tofu for a few minutes. Okay, so the tofu is starting to brown up and become a golden color. At this point, you want to put in your veggies. And I have the edamame, which I already warmed up in the microwave. So I'll put that in. And then I'll also put in the bag of veggies. So we'll just kind of steam the veggies for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring that down to a medium and let it cook for a few minutes. So now the veggies are all warmed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my sauces. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce. 2 tablespoons of the vegetarian oyster sauce. And then as much black pepper as you would like. Just mix it up. Lost our tofu. So you just want to mix it and incorporate the sauces. Oh, also optional is some sriracha. Just gonna cook it for a couple more minutes. So I'm gonna turn off the heat because it should be done now. I'm gonna add in the cilantro and the pepper. Just stir that in. It smells so herbal right now. All right, so that should be it. Let me just taste test it. Okay guys, so I did end up putting just 1 tablespoon of mushroom powder, and that's something you can find at the Asian grocery store just to give it more of that meaty umami flavor, and it's really good. So here's the end product. So I'm gonna try it, and it's got the quinoa alongside it. It's sweet and savory and packed with nutrients. So I hope you give this a try. Thanks for watching.